In one of the remote, very rarely visited parts of the riverine jungle in the reserve, deep, dark and overgrown, I've come across a very, very aggressive alien invasion, which is now going to get my full attention in reserve management as it is removed. Beware. These areas are very inaccessible, so I seldom visit them, and I'm glad I managed to chop my way through the aliens to discover the nest where they are actually starting to spread into the reserve from. This may just seem like another opening in the tree canopy here in the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve of the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project, but in fact, what is going on is something far more sinister. There's an alien invasion happening here, and it's been happening here over the last few weeks, judging by the number of aliens that I can see. This looks to be a thistle species, and it's crept in here with the opening in the canopy because of the extra light that is now available with that missing tree. We've had some high winds, obviously broken down some of the older trees. So there are pioneers, but I'm going to have to investigate the phytochemicals because these have very, very nasty spines, and they already managed to get me on my leg a few times, and it's a burning sensation. So I'm not sure what kind of toxins they have, but almost certainly they have something, because these leaves are not there to be anybody's friend, except for the plant, of course. So judging by the density of this particular growth I found here, nothing else is growing around them, so there may be some kind of chemical warfare going on with their roots, exuding chemicals which prevent other plants from growing in the immediate vicinity. It seems to be a fairly localized infestation, so they're going to have to be removed before they try and spread further. Fortunately, the canopy is still very dense in this area, not allowing many aliens to get enough light under the trees. So, it's time to hunt aliens, to be an eco-warrior. You get out there and you remove these guys. Power with purpose. Reserve management in action. Unfortunately, this particular alien invader species is a very aggressive species. I didn't recognize the full threat of this until a moment ago. It actually has seeds that can spread through wind dispersal. So it's got into the reserve along the river system, which is a continual war to try and prevent them from spreading into the reserve from there. But it's also able to spread not only through the hydrocore, water, but through a pneumocore, wind. So it in fact is not contained in this area. It's going to need to be burned. Otherwise these seeds are simply going to take off and spread everywhere. My legs are very itchy now from contact with the spines. There's definitely some kind of a phytochemical on here. Today's alien hunting weapon of choice happens to be a local branch because I don't have my chopper with me. I wasn't planning to come across this sneaky invasion on the reserve. But as it turns out, these aliens are still quite easy to remove. They don't have very thick woody stems, but the spines on them have definitely got an irritant on them. They've managed to get me a few times as punishment for attacking their invasion, but it's all good. I will not let them spread on the reserve. So it's not all fun and games. Sometimes reserve management, you have to just put in the work, even though it can be life-threatening. Some of these phytochemicals in aliens can actually kill people very easily. They have atropine or ricin and various other nasty concoctions which you do not want to get into your body. But there it is, it's a start. A couple of hours and this will be cleared of them, and then I'll have to follow it up with a return visit just to make sure that these aliens are not spreading any further on the reserve. Well, the irritant spines have managed to get me just behind my glove, which is a protective glove to a degree, but some of them managed to get my wrist, and there are lots of swollen areas causing an irritation. I'm going to have an antihistamine to stop this before it spreads, because this kind of allergic reaction can cause the throat to actually swell closed, and it spreads very rapidly. I've had it before. Not a joke. The last time I had one of these kind of reactions. It took 2 antihistamines and over 11 hours for the swelling in my throat to go down. I could barely breathe. Very scary. So do not play around with aliens unless you have protective clothing. There's another lesson for me today. I should have had thicker gloves on. Now that I know which species I'm dealing with, I will return properly equipped.